Hey there, it's Mike Hinman. I'm the founder of the Hinman Holistic Health Institute and creator of the Hinman Family Health Method. So today I want to talk a little bit about a book that I read. It's called Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs, I'm sorry. And the concept of the book is that any healthy relationship out there needs two components. You need a masculine energy and you need a feminine energy. And it doesn't matter where those two come from. It doesn't have to be, male, female. I mean, it could be, everyone's got a little of both in all of us, but one has to be dominant for a relationship to work. And so, it was really eye-opening in this book, because you always heard the old saying that, it's always about unconditional love. And, that saying's probably heard and known around the world, right? But that is true to an extent, but only 50% of the time, really, because that's the feminine energy side of it. On the feminine energy side, they are looking for the unconditional love. The one part, and this was the eye-opening part that no one's talked about, is the masculine side of it, which is more about respect. And I'm not sure why it really is, but it's just the way it works. And I can, I'll talk from experience here with my relationship with my wife Amanda. Things were good, but they weren't absolutely great. And after reading the book, we both read it, we both understood, and we both bought into the concept. But what ended up happening was, I started showing my wife unconditional love. And, it didn't happen overnight, but shortly thereafter, my wife started coming back to me with we'll call it respect, actually, and it's much different than love, and I didn't understand it at first. I don't even think she realized she was doing it at the time, but when I was giving her the love that she wanted, the unconditional love, no matter what, I mean, I'm talking not keeping score on who did the laundry, and just no matter who she was in that moment, no matter what kind of, if she was up, down, if she was happy, sad, whatever it was, I just gave her the love. And then she started giving me the respect back. And obviously, I'm talking, I was the masculine energy and she was the feminine energy at this point in time, which isn't always the case, to be honest with you. But, and that respect back to me just ended up giving her more love. And it was a continuous circle there that went over and over and over again. And so, one of the key concepts, very key concepts I want you to take away from what I'm saying here is that this isn't a two-way streak. So it's not like Amanda and I both read the book, both got on the same page and said, well, I'll give you love only if you give me respect. And she said, well, I'll give you respect only if you give me love. That's not how it went down. It went down with me saying, this sounds good. This sounds like something that might work. And so I in all honesty, I looked at myself in the mirror and said, what harm can come from it? All I want to do is give my wife more love. There's only upside potential to it. So I started giving my wife that love. And like I said, it doesn't happen overnight, but very shortly thereafter, it's the law of attraction kicks in, and then she gave me the respect back, and it really transformed the relationship in our household. And the best part about it was it actually funneled down to our kids as well. So, kids are very intuitive out there. They can sense what's happening with their parents, with their friends. They know when they're full and they stop eating. They know when they're tired and they go to sleep. It's truly amazing like that. And adults are just preconditioned to think other ways. It's just time spent on earth, I guess. But when Amanda and I really transformed our relationship in that way, the trickle-down effect kicked in, and we saw major changes in our children. We have 4 little girls, as you probably know, and there's a lot of let's call it bickering in the household that goes on from time to time. But all of a sudden, we started seeing the kids play nicer at school with friends, and particularly they played a lot nicer with themselves at home. And we see them in the basement playing house together. They'd be outside in the trampoline making up routines together, and they would actually go out of their way to help one another out, even down to cleaning each other's rooms because one couldn't get it done or it was messier, and they would just chip in and help out. I mean, it was really unbelievable. And so, and I want you to know it all stemmed from the fact of, the relationship with mom and dad. And in this point, it didn't even start with mom and dad being on the same page. It started with one parent making a simple change. That was me making a simple thing of showing my wife unconditional love that snowballed, that got that ball rolling down the hill and just picked up speed and kept going for the better. So, I mean, that's about the book, and that's the one concept I want to bring about there. The other concept I want to bring about is something called the 5 love languages. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard about this, but yeah, I mean, you can go to I think it's 5lovelanguages.com to check it out. So supposedly everyone out there, there's 5 ways that we receive love, or primary ways to receive love. And it's words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, or physical touch. Now I went to the website, I took the test, and the test is geared more towards your significant other, so I was answering questions about my wife. And it turns out my love language is physical touch. That's the way I want my wife to show me love, and that's when I receive it wholeheartedly the best, right? And by just natural instinct out there in human beings is you tend to give love the same way you like to receive love. So what was I always doing? I was always giving my wife love by physical touch, whether it's hug, kiss, or whatnot. And so, but as it turns out, my wife took the test as well, and her primary love language is not physical touch. In fact, it's acts of service. So, I mean, kind of all makes sense now, looking back in hindsight, which is always 20/20, but my wife, whenever I wanted to put my wife in a good mood and I wanted to get that physical touch in return, what did I have to do? Clean the house, right? That's what I used to joke about for years. But it turns out there's a lot of reason behind that. So, so, I have to stop and think now when I want to show my wife unconditional love first and all, accept her who she is, and then I have to show her love in the way that she wants, she receives it best, let's say, which is acts of service. So I would, make the kids lunch. I would put the kids to bed, do extra laundry around the house. Little things like that went incredibly far in my relationship. And like I said, I can only speak for personal experience, but I'm pretty sure all this stuff, is very powerful and would help most people out. And so when I started doing that, like I said, the family dynamic went to the next level then at that point of the game, and it was almost like a harmony in the Hinman household here. I mean, not just with me, not just with my wife, with the kids and everything. I mean, even down to the dog almost just feels the energy and just behaves a little bit different, a little better, to be honest with you. So those are the things that I wanted to bring up today, the book and the love languages, and I wanted to bring this up to you because this is the third step in the Hinman Family Health Method, and it was the most, I don't want to say critical step, but the most transformational for me personally in this whole situation, and I found it incredible. And I want both mom and dad, both parents, to really take this one to heart, to realize that change can happen, and it's doesn't have to be a two-way streak. It can be a one-way streak, and you'll see dynamic effects for the entire family.